This video was sponsored by Skylight. I have a lot of random food related tasks I need to get done today, so I'm going to try and have like a prep time during this nap. So I thought I would bring you guys along just for those tasks here in the kitchen and share with you guys how the Skylight calendar helps me stay on track on days like today. So we are very much calendar people. I like to keep it kind of simple. I find that it's easiest for me and my husband if we have a streamlined but like not overly complicated calendar system. And one thing that really works well for us, this has been going on for probably 3 years. It wasn't super far into our marriage before we realized that we needed to have shared calendars. I don't know if this is helpful to anybody else. Like I can tell you guys how we organize stuff. So I have a calendar for him, a calendar for me, and a calendar for our family, and they're all color coded. That's kind of like the macro system that we use, is 3 calendars that we can all see. It's something that has worked really well for us. So while I am making these dough balls, I want to tell you guys about how we, and more so I, manage things on the micro level. So I find that one of the hard things about being a homemaker or just being a stay-at-home mom is that your work's not really like set out in front of you. There's no clear cut path. And so kind of managing your days, I feel like can be really hard. You have to be self-motivated, you have to see the work and then find a way to get it done. So that is something that I am definitely still learning, but I will tell you what's working for us currently. And that is to have task lists for me with non-standard chores on them if that needs to get done that week. So for example, I don't make pesto every week. I don't make cookie dough balls every week. These are just some examples of what might be on this more micro task list. And that's kind of how I manage that. If I have tasks that are specific to my husband, I will add it to his list and let him know about it, because that's just what works really well for us. So that's my very simple way of managing both micro and macro tasks in our family. So whenever Skylight asked to work with me, I couldn't say yes fast enough, because me and my husband were both so excited to have a system that integrates so seamlessly with what we already do to manage our schedules as a family. The Skylight calendar is a smart touchscreen calendar that was intentionally designed to help your whole family stay organized with your schedules and tasks. You can have individual schedules for each person, chore charts for each person, you can have endless list options, and you can even do meal planning on the Skylight calendar. This calendar was specifically designed to help families stay on the same page when it comes to everything you have to do and be at in life. We have the Skylight Calendar Max, which is a 27-inch screen that replaces a typical paper or whiteboard calendar that you would be using. And the reason why it's so great is that it integrates seamlessly with apps that you are already using to manage your schedule. If you use Apple Calendar, Google Calendar, what have you, this integrates with what you're already using. And so it takes that paper formula or the whiteboard formula and puts it in a way that seamlessly integrates with everything you're already doing, and it really helps everyone stay on the same page, and it's just much easier to use. There are 2 things I really love about the Calendar Max specifically. One, it fits perfectly in a drop zone. So we have ours right outside our kitchen where we are going every single day, multiple times a day. And so it's in this area that is set aside for it. And it just works so perfectly because we see it all the time and it's right there and we can interact with it very easily. And I love that it has a frame. So it has a snap-on frame on the sides of it that help it look really aesthetic. Instead of it looking like just a massive screen on your wall, it looks really good. And I like that because it is in a common area that we use a lot. We do not have kids that can do chores yet, but if you do, they can use a Skylight calendar without having an additional screen. So you don't have to have a phone to use it. You can use it just on the calendar on the wall, but also for you and your husband, it integrates with the apps you're already using, like I said. If you add an event to your Apple Calendar or Google Calendar and you have it set up to sync, it will do that. Also, you can use the Skylight app to create the task list, the grocery list, the meal planning. You can do all of that from your phone and your kids can interact with it on the wall. Skylight also blessed us with the opportunity to compare it to the Cozyla calendar. The two calendars do have a lot in common. They are both touchscreen displays that mount on your wall. They're close in size. The Skylight's a little bit bigger. It's 27 inches, whereas the Cozyla is 24. The key differences I'm noticing are that the Skylight was a little bit easier to set up, if I'm being totally honest. It was very straightforward with the app that I could use, and I did not quite get that experience with the Cozyla. I wanted to point out some key differences between the Cozyla and the Skylight, starting with the display. Though they both look pretty similar on my wall, I think the Skylight looks a little better because of the frame, and I really like that whenever I put it on chores, it'll stay on chores. Or if I put it on the calendar weekly view, it'll stay on that until I switch it. I like that it holds whatever I had on there, and just generally the view of it is a little more aesthetic. As for the features, they both sync from calendars that you're already using, but the one thing I really like with the Skylight over the Cozyla specifically is the dedicated Skylight app. I found it just a lot easier to manage. I really like that it syncs and it has its own app that I can manage it just kind of like on my own if I need to do that. I found that very straightforward and simple. I also love that the Calendar Max has so many robust features when it comes to managing your tasks in your calendars in your family. You can do to-do lists, you can make a dinner plan. Also, like I already mentioned, your calendars do sync. And compared to the Cozyla, the Calendar Max offers a Calendar Plus subscription model, which unlocks an entirely new set of features that you can use your Skylight for. With the Calendar Plus subscription, you can set up a really robust chore chart for your children. We are not at the age where our child does chores, but this is definitely something I can see us using later down the road. Also, you can do meal planning for every meal of the day, which is super, super handy. In addition to all of that, on the Calendar Plus subscription, you can get the Sidekick Smart Family Assistant, and that is so helpful and just really helps you keep a track of everything and keep it all on your Skylight. I have found that the Calendar Max also just comes with more free features than the Cozyla does. This is features that are offered outside of the subscription. Those are additional, but the free features that you can have are, it'll show you the weather, you can put parental locks on it, which I think as our daughter grows up will be totally huge for us. And you can set up a routine, you can do some chore lists, and you can do really robust to-do lists. So those are some of the differences that I have seen and really loved about the Skylight over the Cozyla. As for the user experience, we have had a lovely time integrating the Skylight into what we were already doing. Like I said, that has just made a really big difference to us. It is so, the way it's set up works perfectly with my brain and the way that I was kind of already managing our family schedule. And so to have it on the wall, big, visible for me and my husband to see and our daughter when she grows up, will make life so much easier. I just know it. And it already is making life easier for me and my husband. We're able to just kind of have the calendar discussion less and just stay on the same page, which is huge. On the same point, I really like that Skylight calendars are able to link with other Skylight calendars. So that being said, if we in the future want to get my husband a smaller calendar that he can keep in his office so that we can all stay on task at all points of the day, that will link with the Calendar Max that we have in our kitchen. Lastly, I want to compare their pricing. I like that the Skylight calendar is a little bit cheaper than the Cozyla calendar. Who wouldn't love that? And Skylight offers a subscription to upgrade some of your features, which Cozyla does not. If you think that the Skylight calendar will be just as beneficial to your family as it has been to ours, make sure to visit the link in the description or scan the QR code to learn more about the Skylight calendar. Now let's get back to the food prep, and I will keep using my Skylight to keep me on track for the day. On the same vein of managing schedules, this is going to be so good. I want to talk about something that I mentioned earlier very briefly, and that's that in my brain, routines and things that naturally happen as part of my routine are different for me than tasks. Tasks are something that I don't do every day or something that needs to get done, as opposed to we have a morning routine where we eat breakfast, I go get ready, we make the bed, and then I come in and clean up the whole kitchen. So I don't need to put do dishes, make bed on the task list, because that's something that happens every single day no matter what for me. I'm not saying that it's wrong to do that, but that's just what works for me. I don't write down things like water plants. I really don't even write down that many cleaning tasks unless it's a specific one that I wouldn't normally do. I don't really write that kind of stuff down because it just kind of falls naturally into my routine that I already have. And so, I don't know, I just hope, I guess the reason why I say all that is that it might be helpful to someone too. If you are trying to figure out how to manage that, that's how we do it. I don't write every single task down, only the stuff that's specific to that day, and then the stuff that's gonna happen anyways, that's part of my routine. I just let that happen as part of my routine. Holy moly, this is gonna be so good. While the chuck roast is instant potting cooking, I'm going to the last task that I have on my kitchen to-do list today, and that is make some pesto. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope this video was helpful when it comes to thinking about how it might work best for you to manage your family's tasks and schedules. Make sure to check out Skylight at the link in my description to streamline it even further. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.